Hi there. I wanted to go over how to use Google Forms to create daily check-ins for your students. This will be especially useful for those students that maybe if you're on the hybrid that are in the separate cohort that isn't meeting face-to-face with you today, or those students that are on all remote learning, just as an attendance check-in with them in a way to also build some classroom community. So to create your Google form, you're going to go into your Drive and you're going to click New. And when you click New, you're going to go ahead and scroll down to More and Google Forms. We're going to title our form Daily Check-in, and we're going to put the date. So the date of our first day of school is August 31st. We're going to create one master kind of form here for you to use. So we could actually we'll leave it like that. All right, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is start to create your sections. Now, my students are shared between me and another teacher. So the first thing I do is I create a new section, and that first section is to choose our homeroom teacher. And actually, we're going to not do that. So hang on one sec. So we're going to create our first question. And our first question is going to be, who is your homeroom teacher? And I'm just going to put in just two teachers there, Snape and Dumbledore. Now I'm going to add a new section. I'm going to call this section Snape's homeroom. And I'm going to then add in a question into this section. Choose your name from the drop-down menu. And then you would just start to type in your students' names. And you just keep going, keep going. Next, I'm going to add another section because remember I have two teachers here. So I want to create a section for each teacher. And again, the same exact type of question. Choose your name from the drop-down menu. And they would just, again, enter in their names. Okay. Into this section as well. Sorry about the 4-year-olds. And so on and so forth. The last section is going to be the daily check-in. Now, there are some formatting things I want to do because I don't need Snape's homeroom going in and checking off a name in Dumbledore's homeroom. So I need to make sure they're going to the correct place. So that is when some formatting comes in. When I go up here to this first question, who's your homeroom teacher, and I click, you're going to see that we've got the duplicate, we've got the delete. We want to make sure it's required. And then we get these 3 dots. These 3 dots are going to allow us to do some things with the answers. So I'm going to go ahead and click Go to Section based on answer. And if they click Snape's homeroom, I want them to then go into Snape's homeroom. If they click Dumbledore, I want them to go to Dumbledore. So you can see now that if they choose Snape, they will go to Snape's homeroom. If they choose Dumbledore, they will go to that section. Then, for Snape's homeroom, after they choose this, I don't want them to go to the next section. I want them to go right down to that daily check-in. Same thing with Dumbledore's. I want them to go right down to that daily check-in. And we only have to do this formatting once because we're going to create copies. Next is your daily check-in. Now you can do whatever you want down here. You can add a question, a multiple choice question. You can insert an image. You can have kids write something about themselves, whatever you want to do for your daily check-in. I am using a product from Miss Fifth, and it is just some visual check-ins, and I'll show you what that looks like. So what I did was I entered the image here, and I'm going to go ahead and just pull them because I have it right over here. And I just pulled that image in. But you could see here it is. So which method of transportation would you rather own and why? So I typed that question in right in here. Which method of transportation would you rather own? And since I want them to also say why, let me go ahead and just get these options in here, C, D, E, and F. I want them to say why, so I'm going to make that a separate question. And again, it's required. And this is what it would look like. So when the students go in, you can see they have to choose first, well, who's your homeroom teacher? Snape. It's going to bring them right to Snape's homeroom. They choose their name, and then it's going to bring them right to the question. They would answer it. If they try to submit it without answering why, you're going to see it tells them, oh, no can do. So unicycle because it would be fun to ride on. And then they would submit. Now, once they submit, you can see it says that I've gotten some responses. I can then create a spreadsheet right here based on those responses, and I would be able to see at a glance who answered, what they answered, and why. Now, you could use this as like an SEL check-in with your students. How are you feeling today? Are you in a place that you're ready to learn? Is there anything you need to talk to me about or the counselor about? You can add any sort of questions you want down here. And each day you might have something different. So after you create your first template, to create every other template now, all you're going to do is you're going to click these three dots over here right next to send, and you're going to click make a copy. And then you would just change it to the date that you want it to be. And all that formatting that we did, the go to this section based on this answer, is all still there. We just have to change this name here, or this date. Oh goodness, I can't spell today. And then the question. We would just delete this question, and I would go ahead and put in a new one. So maybe today I want to know, are you ready to learn today? I'm good to go. I need to talk to someone. Whatever you wanted to do. You can do any sort of questions that you want and get the data on. Then all I do is when you click send here and you click the link, I copy this link, and on my daily lessons page in my site, I just went to a random day, I would insert it in here, like a let's check in type thing. And I do have a image ready to go, so I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to paste it right in here. And then what I can do is I can grab this link, and I can link it right to that check-in. So you can see now on that day, September 2nd, even though this isn't going to say September 2nd, when my students click this, it's going to bring them right to the check-in. Hope that helps helps you to understand how to create daily check-ins for your students, format it so that if you have students coming from multiple classes, they can easily find their names and you can aggregate the data a little bit easier. It's a great way to build up some community, get to know your students, and also get those attendance questions in.